Hi and welcome to Dave's Classic Collectibles. Today we're going to look at a great JDM model, the Nissan Skyline GTR R32. We're going to look at the 118 Biante or Autoart models. We're going to look at the road version and also the race version. So let's go out to the workshop and have a closer look at these two great models. Looking at the two models here and what you get in them, both of them are Autoart models, so made by Biante. The road car comes with its picture box. Unfortunately, being part of the Millennium series, it does not come with a certificate of authenticity. The race car there on the right does come with a certificate of authenticity, which is nicely hand signed by Jim Richards, and also comes with a nice little booklet about the 91 Australian touring car. The history and significance of these cars, well, it's massive. Godzilla, named by the Australian media. Basically their dominance of really from 1990 through to 1992. The car was raced first in 1990 and won the championship in 1990 with Jim Richards, though the previous model he also started with in 1990, but finished with the R32. In 1991, the car won the championship, which is the car there in front of us on the right, by Jim Richards. Mark Scaife comes second in the sister car in 1991. Also in 1992, Mark Scaife won in an R32 as well, and then Jim Richards coming in second place. So basically they swapped with each other from 1991 and 1992, both cars being part of the Gibson Motorsport. In Australia, we did get 100 of the road cars. Unfortunately, the model here is a V-Spec, which is the best of them, of the road cars that is. In Australia, we did not get the V-Spec. We only got the normal standard edition, and there was quite a few changes in that car that we got in Australia. Not in performance, they're basically just ADR requirements more than anything. Though some significant differences were on the front bonnet, we didn't get a Skyline badge, we had a Nissan badge. Indicators were different for ADR. Also, they came with a right indicator or left indicator on the guards, on the front guards, and that was basically taken from a Pulsar. They also had to get a changed stereo because obviously with the frequency difference in Japan, so the stereo in the Australian car came out of the current model Maxima, so it got a premium sound system. The most common thing is that the Australian car got a centre mounted aerial at the front on the roof. A lot of people thought that was an aftermarket thing, but it wasn't, because as you can see here with the Japanese car with the V-Spec 2, there's no aerial on it because the aerial was actually in the windscreen. Unfortunately, in Australia, you have to have a tinted band along the top of the windscreen, so therefore that screen had to be changed, and the aerial was then fitted on the roof for the Australian model. They also changed silly things like seat belts, obviously just didn't really reach ADR. Looking at the V-Spec here, it's in Spark Silver, one of the three colours that we got in Australia. We also got the Red Pearl Metallic and Black Pearl Metallic, so they were the three colours that were released in Australia. The main difference really in a V-Spec over your normal R32 Skyline was basically just the BBS wheels and Brembo brakes. The V-Spec 2 came with a lower profile tyre over the original V-Spec and the R32. Basically they went to a 45 series, making the tyre lower profile, slightly wider, but also running the same rolling diameter. The road car came with 206 kilowatts, which was a standard thing for Japan, basically at a gentleman's agreement sort of thing, but all of them running the 6-cylinder twin turbo, the 2.6 litre, with a legendary RB26 motor. Basically the kilowatts really, though they were 206, they were really closer to around the 239 mark. They basically had a Bulgarian type thing down the tube for the turbo. It was like a yellow ball. If that was removed, you would immediately get around 25-30 kilowatts more out of the car. These cars were so dominant, they really put figures together around the same as a 911 Porsche. Not selling very well in Australia, with the 100 being released. The first 60 were sold very quickly. The last 40 took a lot to sell. They were around about 112, 113,000 drive away, so about 110 plus on road costs here in Australia. But to give you an idea, a VN Group A at the same time was $68,000. So nearly getting up around twice so much. So obviously the last 40 cars were very hard to sell. The dominance of the race car was absolutely phenomenal, and hence why the Australian media called the car the Godzilla. This name pretty much got around worldwide and is now called the Godzilla, but basically it did start here in Australia. The cult following for this car has really increased over the years still, with really Nissan hitting an absolute target and all the other Japanese manufacturers really trying to chase the R32 Skyline or the GTR. The popularity and dominance of the R32 really did increase the popularity of the S13, S14 and S15. And in Australia, we had them as the 180 SX and the 200 SX, and still very popular today in Australia. So some other JDM real legends that competed up against the Skyline R32 at this time was obviously the Toyota Supra, Mazda RX-7, and also the Honda NSX. And they all competed against this car. And the R32 was the legend, was the pinnacle at that time of all four cars. Taking a closer look at the models now, we'll start with the road version here on the left, which is the R32 Skyline in Spark Silver V-Spec 2. The mould looks really good. Biante have done a really nice job on these cars, on both of these cars. So the finishing touches and everything is very good. It looks quite accurate. Looks like an R32 should. The thing to note with this one, it is a used model unfortunately, so it is missing the rear wiper on the back there, on the back window. It should have that. Unfortunately it's not there. I have borrowed this car for today, so unfortunately this is the example that we have. But other than that, which is not this one's fault or Biante's fault, the model looks very, very good. Also with the race car, they've done a fantastic job. The mould looks great. There are some differences between the two cars. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But basically in regards to the mould and how they appear, the car looks fantastic. Now the good thing to note just with these two models, these are actually the later versions done by Biante or Autoart. The early models, the moulds were actually Croatia, and some of them are appalling now as they get old, and particularly the 91 and 92 Bathurst cars, also the championship car, absolutely full of rust. So if you are going to buy one of the models, do buy the later ones. They are by far better and definitely a better investment, as you don't want your models to deteriorate, which those early ones will do. The paintwork on both of these cars is great. The Silver Spark and the V-Spec here on the left and the road car looks fantastic. There is no signs or evidence of any orange peel or rust, as I said previously with the Croatia models. They look great. Plenty of them things in there, so it looks really, really good, and the colour's very consistent throughout. The race car livery is fantastic. Autoart have got it, really nailed it very, very well. The red looks great. No rash or anything in this paint whatsoever. Car is lovely, and they've done a fantastic job with all the numbers and things on the side. The decals, they're all period correct and looking really, really good. Right down to the wheels, the exhaust on the outside. It's really looking great. The best thing about these two models really is attention to detail, and Autoart have done a fantastic job with both of these cars. The BBS wheels look fantastic on the road car. The ability that this car completely opens, you can really get in and see all the interior. How good they've done it is really amazing. And this one is an older car. It's probably around 10 years old now, the road car. So it's been out for a number of years, and to really buy either of these cars now brand new is going to be quite hard and probably near impossible. The great thing you can do is just lift up the bonnet and have a really good look at that RB26 motor, and really just reminds everyone of how strong and how bulletproof that motor really is, and how easily it could have been modified, which they all are, and they absolutely take an absolute caning. So they're a great model, great car, which is really why I think everyone still loves the R32 Skylines. With the race car, they've really gone the next level. It's probably been out about 5 or 6 years now, the race car. This is their second release, as I said, and definitely a way better example than the first one that they did, being a Biante model, not the Kawasha model. The ivory, the colours, everything matches really well. The side exhaust, the differences there with the mirror, the interiors look really, really good. Also, just simple things like the bonnet latches and also the boot latches that are on the car. It comes with the tow hooks on the front and also on the rear. The aerial on the roof for their comms. They really went right down to the nail on this one, and it's good when you do that, particularly when you collect Australian touring cars like I do. It's nice that they really do get it right, and they've done a fantastic job with both of these models. Looking at the price now in the retail market for both of these models, the R32 is probably around the $600 mark now retail. As I said, I'm not sure on the build numbers because the car does not come with a certificate of authenticity, so therefore they were just a run-of-the-mill. How many they actually did, I couldn't find any records, and as I said, without a certificate it's a little bit hard. With the race car, as you can see there, it comes with $1,300. Lovely little certificate, also hand-signed by Jim Richards, which is a lovely piece. They retail now for around $500, so a little bit cheaper than the road car. Obviously a lot more people still are very more interested in the road car compared to the race as a collector, but obviously in the race format, the 91 Bathurst winner and the 92 Bathurst winner are the two pinnacle cars, which are getting quite expensive. 92 is probably heading up around the $750 mark now. In the second release, as I said, not the Kawasha model, it's actually quite cheaper. So if you do notice that either of those winners are a little bit cheaper, it's because they're going to be the older cars and definitely covered in rash. So summing up, R32 Skylines, both of these cars, they're probably, the R32 has been done by several different makers, not just Autoart or Biante. There's a lot of the other ones, I'm not going to mention their names, but really Autoart do have the benchmark. If you want a really nice road car and R32, my advice is to buy the Autoart one, not the other brands. Definitely way more accurate, a dearer car and priced, as they say, you get what you pay for. But summing up, these two absolutely outstanding cars. Quality's there. They look what they're supposed to. I can't see any faults with either of them. So definitely, in my opinion, if you want an R32 Skyline, buy one of the Autoart ones. Thanks for watching Dave's Classic Collectibles. I hope you enjoyed our look at the two R32 Skylines, the Road and Race by Autoart. If you enjoyed today's episode, please send us a thumbs up. If there's a JDM car that you'd like us to do, please leave us a comment. Or if there's something else that you'd like to mention, would be great. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you have, don't forget to ring that bell. Until next time, happy collecting.